All right, the Detroit Lions make a series of moves as they fill out the roster and get the game day roster ready for the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know in the comments your score prediction for this one. Be serious, be realistic. Vegas has this at a 2.5-point spread, although I do love the when someone puts in the comments 63-4. Put some of those in there. I love it. I think the Lions win. I just keep thinking Sam Darnold is due for just a average game, let alone a bad game. He's just not shown this in the past. So anyway, Sam Darnold, it's just one of those, like, just they've won 9 in a row. Feels like this would be a spot where he could have a bad game. Let's hope for that. All right, here's the moves. It's Alex Anzalone. They activate Anzalone and Khalif Raymond. So with Anzalone being maybe all week, we've kind of forgotten about Khalif Raymond. At least I have. That's huge because he does have some gadget plays offensively, but just to have him back there as a guy that's going to catch the football on punt return is just so nice. So Alex Anzalone is activated. Does not mean that he will play. He can be a game time decision. He will be a game time decision. Can he go? What's it look like? Dan Campbell talked about it here where he was talking to the trainers. Dan Campbell said, can you trust it? Can you get practice in? What's it going to feel like? So we still, just because he's activated doesn't mean he's going to play, but it's a good sign that at least going to give him an opportunity come game time. Come tonight and see what happens. And some other news with the roster that it's pretty interesting is, I learned not to hold my breath with Emmanuel Moseley, and it's not his fault. It just, when you have back-to-back, what do you have, 3 years in a row of major injuries, and it's a lot to ask somebody to come back and just be a starter and be great, right? It's just like, okay, I don't know. I got too excited about Moseley. He is just officially season over with an injury this time, or excuse me, with an illness this time. So I feel bad for him. Like I said, it's not his fault. I mean, he just has been injured, so we can finally just put that to bed because we've been like, is Moseley going to play? It was a game time decision. He could, and it's like, no, he's not playing. Morris Norris, has been signed, and he's a defensive back, and so he could be safety, he could be corner, but you can see right here he's a slot corner who cross-trained at safety and give depth behind Brian Branch. While Moseley has been outside corner experience, he was repping exclusively in the slot in training camp and never saw the field on defense during the regular season. So it's just where we're at defensively. Like, we know there's going to be holes. We know there's going to be things that are going on with these guys in terms of our depth, because we don't have depth with all the injuries. We're going to have some of these pockets where it's like, who are you and what is your name? And that's just where it is. So let's get through this healthy. That's kind of lost in this too. Obviously, we want to win this, but we want to stay healthy, of course, too. So that's another one. And then I'll highlight another one that's interesting was Tom Kennedy was released to make room for Alex Anzalone, but then signed back to the practice squad. So, geez, Tom Kennedy. I mean, the thing is, he's making decent money going back and forth, but just hanging on to the practice squad, kind of active roster for how many years now? Love Tom Kennedy. Okay, if we look at let's take a look at the playoff picture now as it stands now, and we all know what's at stake. Don't have to go over it, but just for anybody that's like not quite understanding it, if you win your division, you're a top 4 seed, and they don't have it quite filled out yet because the Buccaneers and the Falcons are still battling out. One's in, one's out. But the 4 division winners are the top 4 seeds. And then after that, you go down here. Well, it just so happens the Lions and the Vikings have really, really good records, but only one can win the division. That one happens to be not only win the division, but get the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed gets a bye next week. And then you get a home game You get home games all the way into the Super Bowl if you can make it. So otherwise, you go down here to the 5 seed, and you go on the road to like the Rams. Jeez, give me a break. I just don't want to see them. Just because I think we can. I don't want to see their. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to see them because I don't want to lose to them. At first, you didn't think I'd talk about Matt Stafford in this video, but like at first when Stafford was traded, just real quick, it was like, man, wish him luck. That's kind of how I felt. Just kind of wish him luck, man. Wish he could have got it done here. I don't know. We'll try it out with Goff. And he goes and wins the Super Bowl. And just kind of like, wow, that was pretty awesome, man. Good for you, man. Good for you. Then the second after that, it's like, get out of here. You're done. You're done. You're annoying. He's not annoying. His wife's annoying. And so get out of here. And then Sean McVay now is annoying because he loves Stafford. It's just, they're just like, get out of here. You are not us anymore. And I don't want to see you guys because I don't want to lose to you. That's basically it. I'm not saying that we would, just like the thought of losing to them to knock us out is just brutal. So got to win this game. Just got to. And again, if you preview this game, there's a couple things. I think the Lions match up really well against the Brian Flores wacky defense. Remember what they try to do. They want to get you into second long, third and long, and then they want to play that game where everyone's up at the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's coming, who's dropping. You don't know if everybody's coming. You have no idea. And it's honestly well done. And I don't know why more defenses don't do it, because you don't know. You just how would you know who's coming, who's dropping, right? You got 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage. So but the Lions are just a great matchup for it. The Lions have scored 30 points in the last 3 games against the Vikings. The Lions have won 6 of 7 against the Vikings. The Vikings have not experienced the Ford Field atmosphere because this is the first time they've played here this year, obviously. Last year, it was the last game of the season as well, and we had the division wrapped up. Seed was in place, so it was kind of like just stay healthy. Nobody get hurt type of game. Wasn't this type of atmosphere. So it really does feel like obviously we are shorthanded defensively, and that you can't really put that's a real thing. The rest is kind of speculation. So that's a real thing, but the rest of it really does benefit the Lions. We just match up well against their defense. And then Sam Darnold, maybe he's turned the corner and he's just really good. I hope that's not the case. I would say that he's due for a bad game. He just is. Just law of averages. I don't think you can play at the level that he's playing specifically. Like your Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, it's like, yeah, every game's like they're great. Law of averages has to catch up at some point where it's like, okay, due for just 1 out of every 10 games. Literally, that's what it would be. You don't play great, turn the ball over a little bit. Lions take it. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.